The idea of minimum wage laws was first introduced to the United States as the Fair Labor Standards Act of 1938 in order to give wage workers a boost and decrease class stratification. The Fair Labor Standards Act, or FLSA for short, covers American workers and is enforced by the Wage and Hour Division of the U.S. Department of Labor, and more than 143 million Americans are covered by it. As of July of 2015, the minimum wage in the United States was increased to $7.25, although it does vary greatly from state to state, with Georgia and Wyoming's being even lower than the national average at $5.15. It is prospected that 22 states plus the District of Columbia will be increasing their wages in 2019, with many planning to increase it to $15 an hour, which is more than doubling the national minimum wage average. However, what are the effects of raising the minimum wage and what effect will it have on the poor? Some of the aspects argued to increase minimum wage as that it will help families keep up with the rate of inflation, it will give more money to the hands of Americans, which will incite them to spend it and stimulate the economy. Lower unemployment rates and higher wages will increase tax revenues, and a higher minimum wage they won't rely as much on government welfare programs. On the other hand, negative effects of the raise would be that businesses will have to fire workers in order to afford the new wage. The increased wages may be passed off to consumers in prices, and the businesses will stop hiring people without experience and teenagers, which will end up in more unemployment of these individuals, not giving them the opportunity to grow in higher jobs. Lastly, corporations may send jobs to countries with lower or non-existent wage laws, so more unemployment will be created in the United States. Although it could be argued that low wages are the biggest cause of poverty, minimum wage laws affect people at all wage levels differently, but the specific effects for the poor are how increasing minimum wage may bring almost 1 million Americans out of the poverty line. However, there are better ways to help the poor. Minimum wages should not be raised because higher wages will make it more expensive to hire workers, resulting in job losses. It will hurt low-skilled workers since companies won't want to take the risk. It would have little effect on poverty as majority of the benefits go to families that aren't poor and makes it difficult for them to find jobs. And lastly, it will result in higher prices to consumers.